Hello! This tutorial will step through the process of creating an Adept user interface using Winlog Lite. To successfully complete this tutorial, you need to have Adept ACE 3.0 or higher installed on your PC. Make sure that you have a valid OPC license. You also need to have Winlog Lite installed. In this tutorial, we will start with the process of exporting Adept ACE workspace data items to OPC. Then we will create a simple Winlog Lite application that links Adept ACE variables to Winlog Lite front-end symbols using OPC. Finally, we will look at a working interface created using Winlog Lite for a dual Adept Quattro system. Let's find out how to export Adept ACE workspace variables to OPC. We will start with an overview of the OPC editor and then step through an example. You can export object properties and variables to OPC by clicking View and then Edit OPC, or by clicking the OPC icon on the toolbar. First, you need to enable the OPC connection and set the update rate. You can export Adept Smart Controller related variables such as the power switch, monitor speed, and digital IOs. You can also export process related variables such as run status and statistics. You can export a variable by checking the Expose checkbox. If you don't want an external application to modify the value of the variable, then check the Read Only checkbox. The tag name can be modified by simply highlighting and editing the field. Now let's go ahead and create a default workspace and export a couple of variables to OPC. Add a numeric variable by right-clicking in the Workspace Explorer. Select New Variable, Numeric Variable, and rename it to Numeric. Set new value to 10 and press Enter. Next, create a string variable by right-clicking again in the Workspace Explorer. Select New Variable, String Variable, and rename it to String. Set new value to This is a String and press Enter. Open the OPC editor by clicking the OPC icon on the toolbar. Make sure that the OPC connection is enabled and set the update rate to 250 milliseconds. Double-click on Numeric and check the Exposed checkbox. The tag name is set to current value. Since current value is a very generic tag name, let's edit the field. We can call it ACE Numeric. Double-click on String and export the variable. Modify the tag name to ACE String, then save the workspace. Now that we have exported two variables to OPC, let's create a Winlog Lite application to access these variables. But first, we need to configure the communications channel. In the Winlog Project Manager, select Project New. It immediately prompts you to name the project. Let's call it Robot Interface. We need to configure it, so expand the project folders and click Configuration. Double-click Channels and select Channel 1. For configuration, let's select OPC Client from the drop-down menu. As soon as we select OPC Client, it prompts us for the server node and OPC server. For the server node, we need to type in the IP address of the system running the ACE OPC server. Since my OPC server is running on my host machine, I am going to type localhost. Next, we need to browse for the ACE OPC server. Select Adept ACE OPC server and click OK. Close the channel editor by clicking OK. So far, we have exported ACE variables to OPC and configured the communications channel for the Winlog Lite project. Now let's go ahead and create gates to access these ACE variables from Winlog Lite. Let's start by adding ACE numeric. From the Robot Interface project folders, let's click Gates. Then double-click on Numeric and click Insert Gates. This will open up the Gates editor. From the General tab, type 1 for the gate ID and the N ID. In the description field, let's type numeric variable in ACE. Click Choose, select Group 1, and click OK. Switch to the Sampling tab and type 1 in the Channel field. Notice that it automatically highlights OPC Client. For the Address field, click Browse and then click Numeric from the Paths column. Notice that ACE numeric is listed in the Items column. Let's go ahead and click on it and then click OK button. It is important to note that we need to replace any dots in the path with a /. Now we need to figure out how often the value needs to be sampled. Select Always from the drop-down menu for the Sample field and set the sample frequency to 1 second. Click OK. Let's go ahead and save this table by clicking the Save icon on the toolbar. Now we need to add ACE string to the gates list. Select File, Load Gates, String. Since this configuration process is similar to the numeric variable, I am going to skip ahead. After adding the string variable to the list, we need to save the table. So, we have exported ACE variables to OPC and created a Winlog Lite project that can access these variables using gates. Now it's time to create a template and link symbols to these gates. Let's go ahead and click Template from the project folders. Right-click in the project editor and select New File. Right-click on the file and rename it to ACE OPC. Double-click on ACE OPC and that will open up the template builder. From the Standard tab on the toolbar, click the gauge icon and then click on the template to position the gauge symbol. Then click Browse in the Gates field of the property editor. This will open up the template gates list. To add an item to the gates, click Add, which opens up the gates selection window. Let's first go ahead and add ACE numeric by selecting Numeric from the Type drop-down. Click the listed item and click OK when done. While we're at it, let's go ahead and also add a string. So click Add Gate and select the string option from the Type drop-down. Select the listed item and click OK. Click OK to close the template gates list. Now that we have added both variables to the template gates list, the symbols in the template will be able to access these gates from the property editor. So now we need to link the symbols to the gates. Let's select the Num option from the Gates drop-down. Then let's go ahead and add a symbol to display the string variable. Click on the Edit icon from the toolbar of the Standard tab, and then click in the template to position the symbol. Then select the STR option for the gate selection in the property editor. Let's go ahead and save the template and close the template builder. To verify that we can access these variables, let's run the project. Right-click on the Robot Interface project and check the default option. Then click Configuration and double-click Template. Now, from the Start Templates tab, click ACE OPC and click Add. Click OK when you're done. Now from the toolbar of the Project Manager, click the Execute Project icon to open Winlog Lite Runtime. As you can see, when we modify the values of the variables in ACE, the Winlog symbol values also change. We have successfully created a Winlog Lite interface to Adept ACE using OPC communication. Now that we have created a simple application, let's look at a working interface to a dual Adept Quattro system created using Winlog Lite. We hope this tutorial was helpful. For more information, please visit www.adept.com.